Dear friends, this chapter will focus on the CO2 emission costs and the CCUS regulation system. As we said in previous chapters, different are the actors, the sectors, which are considered the main CO2 emitters, and different organisms defined a taxation system for the main CO2 emitters with the aim to favor a project, an implementation of actions to reduce and control the CO2 emissions. Here I report some words concerning the main two systems and mechanisms. The so-called carbon tax, which is a simple system, a fee which is imposed on the burning of carbon-based fuels, and it is a tax proportional to the net CO2 emissions. The other mechanism which I refer here is the so-called emission trading scheme, which is mainly adopted by the European Union. According to this, CO2 is listed on the stock exchange. So, international credits are financial instruments which are connected to a ton of CO2 which has to be removed or reduced from the atmosphere as a result of an emission reduction project. So what are these credits? These are generated through two main mechanisms. The first one, the so-called clean development mechanism, allows industrialized countries with a greenhouse gas reduction commitment to invest in projects which are aimed to reduce emissions in development countries as an alternative to more expensive projects carried out in their own countries. The other one, the so-called joint implementation, allows industrialized countries to meet part of their cuts in greenhouse gas emissions by paying for projects that reduce emissions carried out in other industrialized countries. So, as a general idea, all the main sector companies have an amount of CO2 emissions which are considered, which are allocated for free. But if they overcome this amount of emissions, they have to pay, and they can pay by acquiring credits through the development of new projects according to the scheme that I just cited. It creates a balance in the price of CO2 emissions, and which depends by several factors. I will go a little bit further, presenting you something else which is to be considered as a regulatory and legal regime which should be set up at international and domestic level in order to do many things. For example, to manage risks at various parts of all the supply chain and to support the technology investments. I refer here to a table which has been presented recently in the literature concerning a summary of key regulatory issues and challenges in CCUS development in Europe, China and Middle East. What emerges from this table is that different approaches, different regulations have been already applied or not, and in the different countries and continent, there is at different level integration of CCUS strategies and mitigation policies already implemented. So that it emerges that the line has been already started, but many steps have been necessary to be still implemented in the near future.